Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
hello.
We are
Sorry, I
live.
thought I had an error message. It came up with an error message. Sorry, I thought we weren't.
Mandy, we're live.
Yeah. So, hey everybody. Sorry about that. Welcome back to our next video. We were talking yesterday about infantinis and what it means to be an infant being going on this journey. And today we're going to talk about how to feel completely fulfilled in every area of your life without having to do a thing, which sounds really probably ridiculous. But, like, of course you have to do something, you would think, because that's what life is all about. But we need to kind of turn that on its head and sort of go on with this journey of like what living as an infinite being truly looks like, and how that does completely turn that whole concept on its head, that we actually have to do anything to get somewhere.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
So share with us.
This topic came yesterday because we were talking about that you're infinite by nature, but then you choose to live that way by choice. And it sort of reminded me of a story where I was at a hotel last weekend in Quebec City, and we had like a pool area and a spa and sauna area and stuff. So we got talking to a couple of guys there, and then we went into the sauna, and then Jody and this other guy left, and it was just me and this young guy, who I still don't even know his name, in the sauna. And I don't even know how we got onto it, but he suddenly started opening up about his grandfather had taken his own life, and his mom, he had issues with his mom, and it just sort of started going down this line, like he was feeling really depressed. And he was only a young guy, he's, I don't know, maybe 25 or something. And he'd obviously been doing a bit of work on himself as well. Like he'd done a bit of consciousness work because, it's just the way he was speaking and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting. He broke up with his girlfriend. He actually left her because he felt like he just couldn't provide what she needed. And he was feeling really lost himself, like what to do. And that, and actually sort of quite suicidal. Like I was a bit worried about him a little bit when we started talking. But what was becoming really obvious, or what he kept saying to me all the time, was, I want to find love, like he wanted to find romantic love again, but you could tell that it was more than that. Like he was trying to find love inside, like self-love, and sort of this sense of unconditional love. And he didn't feel like he got it from his mum, and because they didn't have a great relationship, so he was just he didn't want to recreate that, I guess, in his relationship. So out of the fear of doing that, he actually broke up with his girlfriend, who still really wanted to be with him, and he really loved her still. And so it was really quite interesting. I was like, wow, this is about the third or fourth person that I've actually had this conversation with, probably in about 2 weeks, where it's this sense of looking for love, pretty much, like looking for other things, I guess, in the outside world. But it pretty much, they all stem down to that. Like they're all to do with relationships. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And I started talking to him, and I said, the very thing that you're looking for, love, is actually who you are. Like that's your nature, is that your infinite self is love. That's the energy of love. So because you're going and you have this desire to keep looking for it, you're in the looking mode all the time, and so therefore you never find it because you're looking. So you're either looking or you're finding. And I was like, so it is this sense of stopping and just going, I already am that. And that's as simple as that. And so that's, the very thing that you're looking for is actually who you already are.
Yes.
And so I think the penny finally dropped with him after a bit of a conversation. There was a language barrier because he, coming from Quebec, his first language was French. So he wasn't too bad on the English, but trying to talk about some of these concepts was like, with my accent, I was like, I'm not sure you're getting all of it. But it's, I think the penny finally did drop with him, and he was like, oh, okay, I just got to stop searching for it. And I was like, I was like, then you are. Like, I was like, all right. It's like, it is that simple, actually.
That's the thing, I suppose, that it is a simple concept, and it's probably something that you've heard before or read before. And again, like what we were speaking about yesterday, it's this difference between getting it at a very surface level, intellectual, kind of going, I kind of get that we're all one, we're all connected. I'm already everything. I'm already, you know, the universe is holographic, and everything that I see in another person, I've got him within me. And you kind of get that at that intellectual level. But I think that difference is, and Nat and I was talking about this too, about what the difference was for us when we started the Infinite Me, and when we really decided to start stepping into this idea that I'm already infinite, and why it did shift so radically from an intellectual into a knowingness, then an actual living it, was this, that keep pulling yourself up on the limitations and the stories that you're putting on yourself. So for that guy that Nat's just sort of sharing about in the sauna, he's just like this kind of like, oh, I'm already that, like, it is that simple. And it is as simple as that, as pulling yourself up on your story in the moment. So you get to a place of like noticing a limitation, like, oh, well, I'm searching, I still feel like I'm searching for this thing, or I really feel like this thing's not in my life, I'm looking for a relationship or a satisfying job, or whatever that thing is for you. And then kind of definitely things like that. More money for sure is a big one for people, that I just need this and then I'll feel free. So whenever you notice yourself doing that, then you're in the story, like you're caught up in the lie, if you like, in the belief that's holding you back. But it is as simple as kind of going, I'm already infinite right now. There is nothing that's outside of me like that. I can't. So abundance, I'm already abundance. I'm already health. Okay, in your 3D circumstances, it might be showing up as something different, but that's only then our judgment on that thing that's coming up, and how it's unfolding, that holds it in places like, oh, I don't already have that thing. It's outside of me. I still need to get to this thing. Whereas in all truth, when we just kind of go, I'm already that thing, and you start to let yourself feel that come from that space, it's like the frustration just immediately goes, and you kind of like, oh, I don't actually have to work it out. Like, there is actually nothing to work out here. There's actually nothing wrong. And it is sometimes as simple as just pulling yourself up on that and standing in that moment, just going, everything's fine. And then you'll just notice that your actions start to shift, like that frustration falls away. I'm not saying that this will be an automatic thing for everybody, depending on the outside thing that's going on too. Sometimes there's a really thing that's, you know, especially if it's a big trigger point for you, or it's something that you struggled with, say you've got a big story around that too. But just that relief around, say it is with money, you can kind of go, oh wow, I don't have money, I need this money to feel safe, secure, free, whatever that you know, the feeling that you're searching for. But then to kind of go, oh, I'm already free now. If I'm an infinite being, then I'm actually already free. So it's actually got nothing to do with the money outside of you. The money is just that outside circumstance that you've been looking for it in. But if you can then tap into that feeling of, I'm already this thing right now. If I'm an infinite being, therefore I am already free. I am already money. I am already health, and actually stand in that feeling. And the more you keep doing that and coming from that space, then your actions start to come from a very different place. And you actually feel like, I don't have to work anything out anymore. It's just like,
there's nothing else to do. Like, you know, like if you've been on the path for a while, and I suspect he had, as I said, we've been going for 15 plus years. Like, how many thousands and thousands of dollars have we spent? I don't even want to think about it. Have we spent on trying to come to that one answer? Oh, I'm already it. Like, that was it. Like, as soon as you make that declaration and you draw that line in the sand, it's like the journey, well, not the journey, but the search stops. Because there's nothing else to do. And it's like, oh, I'm already there. Oh, okay.
So now I could just live from that space.
So now you can just live it. It's sort of like, well, you don't, okay, maybe you need a little bit of coaching to help you live it. Like, that's because it's a very different proposition when you're living from that space. So you might want to get used to how to live it, but you can certainly stop the search at that point, which, you know, is what we see so many of our own peers doing still, you know, people that we've been on the journey with for 15 plus years. And we were doing the same thing, you know, until last year when we both stopped. One day, I remember it, I was in Singapore, you're in Tasmania, and we both just went, oh shit, like, we're actually already there. Oh my God. Like, it was just like this sort of sit back in your chair type moment and go, oh, okay, well, that's it then.
It changes everything.
It solves everything. Like, there is no more problems, really. Like, when you come from that space, all of a sudden, all of it shifts. And, like, there is this sense of relief. And it's like, oh, crap, okay.
You just relax and enjoy the
I can
ride
just
now.
relax now and enjoy it and have fun with it. And I was talking to somebody else about this sense of play, and it's like, and she was saying, can't be all just about play. And it's like, it actually is.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
If you are everything and you really do step into that living of being infinite, and then abundance is already yours. You're already abundant. So you don't have to go looking for it anymore. You don't have to go and do things to make money, because it just comes. And it does. Like we're both of us experiencing that now, and both of us experiencing great relationships and really fulfilling work and all the stuff that we were looking for in the outside world and thinking, oh, it's got to be there somewhere. That to fill that void that we felt all those years, 15 years or plus, like all the rest of the time that we were feeling it too, probably since kids, of that something's missing.
Underlying.
And I was talking to him about that, and I was like, can you feel that? And I said, can you feel this sense of something is missing? And he said, yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I say, what you're looking for is yourself. You've already got it.
Yeah, we're all doing that underneath it. It can look like on the outside we've got stuff, but when we go to bed at night and we're sort of in our quiet moments, there's that, if we're all honest with ourselves, there's still that sense of, I'm still not there yet. I still don't have this thing. There's still a void I'm trying to fill.
I still feel a sense of separation between me and the universe. Like I talk about asking the universe for this, or the universe is going to provide me that, which means that there has to be separation. There's got to be two things there. There's not oneness anymore. There's now two things, you and the universe. So it's like, that's not oneness. That's not living infinitely now.
And this is where it gets so tricky, I suppose, because it is something that we might kind of get, like we like exactly what you're saying. Oh, but I'm one with everything. I'm connected. But then we say things like, oh, I've just got to align myself with the universe. I've just got to check with my higher self. Like all those things that we think we're connected, but we're ultimately still kind of stating that we're separate. And this is, we had to pull ourselves up on too. It's just like, oh shit, like there is still language here that I'm separate. Like at the bottom line of it is, I'm still feeling that. That's why I feel that there's something missing. That's why I feel the void still, because I haven't actually embodied this idea that I am everything. I am infinite right now in this very second. So that's the shift we're talking about. It might sound really subtle, and it's kind of hard to kind of put into words, I suppose, too, until you go on it. But I'm sure we can all kind of identify with that feeling of like, I am still searching for something. If I'm honest with myself, I'm still not satisfied. I'm still frustrated by this, or I'm still can't get that thing, even though I do all these spiritual practices and I do all these things that I'm meant to do, and I think positively, and I, all that stuff. It's not that it's not worthwhile doing any of that. It is, but there is this subtle but profound shift that has to happen of going, I'm already that now, and owning that now, and coming from that space, and it completely shifts everything around. And then you will, as Nat said, probably need some support and help along the way, because it's such an ingrained way of being. So when that lady said to you about, oh, it can't be all about play, that's the type of things that get in our way of actually living this. So all these stories,
really? Well, that's really interesting.
So all these stories and constructs and all the stuff society's told us, and we've been doing it for so many years, that it's become such a habit. So you do have to deconstruct and dismantle your world as you know it in terms of your belief system. So things like, it can't be just as simple as that, it can't be just as easy as that. It's like, it is. But you'll have all these things that will come up in the way of it. There's all these things that will come up in the way of it. So that's everything that we're going to be talking about now in these videos that we'll be doing in the coming days too, is addressing all this stuff. To show you how you can do it, how you can make that shift, and that it is easy, but it's not simple. Oh, was it simple, but it's not easy? Is that the way you say it?
Yeah, it's simple, but it's not easy. There's not much to it. It's just like, you are it now. That's it. It's like there's nothing else to get. But it's not easy to live it. So we get that. Very cool. All right. I don't think Facebook's actually worked. I think that was the error message that you were getting.
I realized that's what it is.
So we're live on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. We're having these conversations all the time, and they're thought-provoking, and hopefully they're giving you some shifts and some pond drops and some transformations. Just short and sweet. We're going to keep them pretty short and sweet each day. So give us a little subscribe and turn on your little bell notification so that you get notified when we go live, because we are going to be doing lives now.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, we'll
See you
continue tomorrow. The conversation.
All right.
All righty. Bye for now.
Be infinite.
Be infinite.